Yeah, I can tell you a few things about it. So it's called Sanctuary, and it will be released in Essen this year, and also coming out in the United States by Capstone Spilla.
Welcome to the Peoples Behind the Meeples, the podcast where you get to learn more about the people behind your favorite games. I'm your host, Alex Radcliffe, and today we're going to be talking to Mathias Wigge, the designer of the third highest rated game of all time, Ark Nova. Matthias is an interesting story in a sense because of how he came from nowhere. He wasn't like an established designer making a lot of games before making Ark Nova. Rather, he was playing games for years, made Ark Nova, which rapidly shot through the ranks, and then from there has continued to expand upon that line with expansions, as well as now with K-pop Spilla, his company, that is going to be making deluxeifications for Ark Nova. Join us today to find out more about which games inspired him, what's more in the Ark Nova universe, and what other things you can expect to see from him down the road. Come along for the ride as we find out more about the peoples behind the meeples. Matthias, thank you for joining us on today's episode of The Peoples Behind the Meeples. I'm going to start off with a fairly predictable but boring, kind of boring question, but I think it kind of sets the groundwork for things. How did you, okay, you're responsible for Ark Nova. Is it currently the number 3 game on BGG still? What's it currently at? Do you know?
It should be at number 3 in overall and number 2 on the strategy rating. We,
Perfect. So you have
I,
this incredibly
I
popular game. Yeah, incredibly popular game, doing very well. It's also your only game right now, right?
yes, yeah, it's
Plus
the
expansions.
only.
Plus expansions.
Yeah, sure, yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
How did you get here? What were you doing? How did you get into the board game hobby? How did you go from that to designing a game that has become this well received? Like, what was that overall journey like?
I mean, gaming was my number one hobby since a long time. Since I was a child, I played games with my mother and friends, and yeah, so we have the Spiel des Jahres in Germany, and it was always yeah, it's something like you get the news Spiel des Jahres for Christmas, and then you play the games and you check out what's new, and so you grow up with playing games, and it was always a great hobby of mine, and so. I had some detours with tabletop gaming when I grew older, and then I switched to card play. So I played a lot of Magic. It's not when I was in college, and yeah, and when I got
Do
to
you still
work,
play Magic?
what?
Do you still play Magic?
Yeah, but only for a hobby, not competitively. I mean, I was really competitive. I love to play it competitively back in the days when I had lots of time during my days in the university. So there, I spent lots of time practicing, playing some Pro Tours, etc. And when I finished school and then got into a job. Um, yeah, I didn't have the time to play it that competitively, and so I lost a little bit of interest in it. And then at that point, I turned back to board gaming,
Okay.
especially. So it was around, yeah, it's now like 15 years ago. So I turned back to board gaming, and yeah, I found much joy playing at a table again. So yeah, we had our regular group or with people playing, and we love to play new games like every week. So I drove deep into the hobby. I mean, you can see in the background,
Yes.
I I bought lots of games and tried most of them, not all, to my shame, but most of them. And yeah, I mean, it's a typical. I think it's a typical gaming hobby experience. So you dive into it, you buy lots of games, you try many different games, and then you start complaining, oh, why didn't do they this, and oh, why is it, why did they choose this design route and not that, and I don't get it. And yeah, at some point I just thought, okay, I'm complaining over so many things, maybe I should just try and do it myself. So I had to took the time and yeah, tried a game of myself, and somehow it turned out turned out pretty successful.
And what would you say were some of your favorite games that led to Ark Nova? Like, what were the things that were the most inspirational that you really enjoyed the most that you were like, I want to build
Yeah,
something
I
in
mean,
this realm?
yeah, generally, which took me really back to the hobby or into in a way of competitive gaming was in first place was Agricola. I love to play Agricola worker placement in general. Euro games where it's not that random. Yeah, the outcome is not that random. You have some more
More
not guidance,
deterministic.
but yeah, it's more deterministic, but not totally. No, it's not chess, but you have a way of randomness still, so everyone can beat. So you can even if you're not the best player, you can still win versus better players, but not that often. Yeah, but it's not such a random mess like a typical Ameritrash game where you have dudes on a map and you have more of diplomacy going on, where you have to convince your fellow players not to stab you in the back and such things. That's yeah. So
Do
it's
you
more
not
the
like that genre of games?
oh what
I mean, looking at the
what
background, it
oh
definitely seems
what
like you have a
yeah
preference.
I have all genres here and I enjoy them to a degree, but it's not my preferred genre. So
Gotcha.
for example, in Vegas last year, I watched the diplomacy players. There was a huge diplomacy tournament going on over there, and I watched it with great joy. I had so much fun watching it. Um, I don't think it's a game to play with my friends at home because but yeah,
Gotcha.
maybe at some point I will play it at a convention and then I pretty much think I would like it, but yeah. So, but yeah. So we played more of the Euro games where it's more deterministic and you have more agency over your own agenda. And yeah, so that's one of the games I liked very much. So Agricola was one of them. Yeah, and so since the magic background I have, cards was always something I enjoyed the most, and I mean you can see I also got influenced by Terraforming Mars.
Yeah.
I won't deny that. I mean it's a game with so many different cards, and I think I pre-ordered the game even without reading the rules because I saw it has those immense amount of cards, and I think it looked great, and so I wanted to try it. So yeah, so we played that a lot also,
Now,
and
as
yeah,
far
so it
yeah, as far as the game, or as far as Ark Nova goes, the heavily the whole animal theme and all that was the theme baked into the game from the start, or was it something that like what came first, theme, mechanics, or hand in hand?
oh it I wanted this also when I designed the game, the theme was set. I wanted to have a zoo themed game. I mean, so to spin back to Agricola, I thought, okay, actually I was at the zoo with my kids back then. So after a visit at the zoo, I was, ah, man, so we like to go with the kids to the zoo, and there are lots of zoo games, but they are like all of them are for childs or families, and there is no zoo themed game. At least I didn't know one, and I knew lots of games for grown-ups, and I like the theme. And I mean, I'm not into farming also, but I love to play Agricola, and I wouldn't have my own farmyard, so it's nothing I'm deeply interested in personally. But I love playing Agricola, so I thought, why can't you have a zoo themed game for grown-ups? It felt like, oh, there is a need for it, and so I was thinking about, so how could you do this? And then yeah, I mean I needed to have cards, so this was just logical for me. I wanted to have cards. I love games with cards. I wanted lots of different cards. So there are, in a zoo game you want lots of different animals. I mean, most of the zoo games there are have like 10 or 20 different animals, and there are so many. I mean, even in Ark Nova, there's only a small percentage of different animals there are on the planet. So it needed to have cards. This was a natural fit. I had his theme, the cards, and then okay, how do you play the cards? How can you do it? And so when then there came the action, the action mechanism, and so this was a
Together, hand in hand.
it was okay, this works, I'm sure. And so from that point I threw it all together and created how do you how can you make it with this action mechanism and cards and the theme. And then I started creating cards on my computer and figured out a formula how to balance it and so on and so on. And so yeah, it developed from there.
So you went from designing Ark Nova, you go from there to making a bunch of expansions for it, and then before you go into the next game, which we'll see if we'll have questions about that too, before you go into the next game, you then go to deciding to create this company, K-pop Spilla. That's it's an interesting journey. It's going from being in the hobby for a long time, creating a massively popular game, and then before you even go to like a second game, you're now creating a company that, speaking of which, what's the goal of this company? Is it purely around Ark Nova? Are you making games with this company? Are you deluxifying games? What is K-pop Spilla, and what's the goal? How did that come to be?
Okay, K-pop Spilla is my new company, and we are not a publisher, a classic publisher in that sense. So the basic idea of K-pop Spilla in the first place is to create a deluxified 3D edition of Ark Nova. So a deluxification of components. I mean, I'm a gamer myself. I backed lots of Kickstarter projects myself, and just right from the beginning of the creation of Ark Nova, I thought, oh, it has potential to have like this big version with nice miniatures. And yeah, so when it became successful, we talked about it, or I talked about it with Feuerland, and they said, okay, we think it would be nice, but it's nothing we usually do for our games. And basically they said, but you can do it. If you want to, you can do it. And I said, okay, I mean, I'm looking for a new challenge, and I like it. No, I want to realize it, and I have the time, I have the energy, I want to do it. I have the person, the emotion for it.
Drive,
I think it's yeah, the drive. It's something needed. So yeah, so I looked for a business advisor, someone with the experience of creating. I mean, I have Feuerland in the background for like if I have. For the production stuff, and if there are questions arise, so they are in the background still. It's an official product, but for the campaign and the things, I have an advisor who has done several campaigns himself, and who is working for me and yeah, helps me with the procedure. And so I assembled a small team, and yeah, now we will produce or we'll run a Kickstarter. I mean, a GameFound campaign. Sorry, but it's just in the head. It's a crowdfunding campaign running on GameFound for the Ark Nova 3 edition. It's already up there. You can sign up and also get a free gift if you do. If you back the campaign, of course, in the end, not just for signing up,
just for clicking follow,
signing up and joining the campaign afterwards. So you don't have to if you sign up now. But yeah, so yeah, we will do that, and we will have a very nice version of Ark Nova with very nice buildings and other stuffs to make it look awesome on the table. I'm very happy with the steps we took so far. So we are, if you have followed it before, so we will take our time. We will make it great. And yeah, but yeah, it's
because this is a little different than your typical, because we're definitely in the age of deluxified experiences. I mean, it's been trending that way for a while, where you still have the opportunity to buy a $40 game, a $60 game, an $80 game, but also if you want to, you can spend $500 on a game at this point. And we've seen a lot of popular Euro games over the past few years start to get various deluxified versions. Where this one is a little bit different is that most of them are a full-on version of the game.
Hmm.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't get the base game right now as part of this
Yeah.
campaign.
It's a deluxification box, so you can you still need the base game in your preferred language. So we have I hope I am right, but it's over 15 different languages we already have, and so there are contracts, and we don't want to let the people out in the different languages. So you have the game in the language you want it, and the Swedish is a language independent add-on, if you will, but with a big box where you can put the stuff in. So you basically can buy the Swedish box, and then you put your cards and playmats and stuff, depending on what you get or not, from you, which you already own. You put it in the new big box, and then you have a nice storage solution, and that's the idea of it. So yeah.
Cool. And then what's next for K-pop Spilla? Do you have more games already planned, or just who knows?
It's this is the full focus is on this first project right now, and there's the full focus on the 3 edition, and after that we will see. So it was a lot of effort to create the structure to be able to do it, and found the company, and so on and so on. So we will most likely use it afterwards, but there are no concrete plans right now. So it's just focusing on this project first, and then see how it continues. And I mean, I'm still working as a designer.
Well, that's going to be my next question. What's next for you?
So it's yeah. I quit my main jobs like 2 years ago, and so I'm doing it full time in the gaming hobby. And so I'm still working as a designer on other games. So there will be a new game in the Ark Nova universe coming out this Essen by Feuerland. And I'm also working on other projects. I have no concrete plans on publishing my games under K-pop in the future. Right, there is not. It's not planned right now. But yeah, we will see what happens after the campaign, how successful it will be, if we continue it from there, or we will. It's totally. I'm not in a pressure situation here, so I can freely choose how we develop from there.
So tell us more, if you can, tell us more about this new game. You mentioned you have a new game in the Ark Nova universe coming out Essen. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I can tell you a few things about it. So it's called Sanctuary, and it will be released in Essen this year, and also coming out in the United States by Capstone Spilla, and I think most international partners who released Ark Nova will have Sanctuary also. So you will most likely find it in your language also, if you're watching from anywhere in the world. I think the interest was high for it. So yeah, it is a new game. So it's not a just stripped down version of Ark Nova. It's a game on its own right, but it's in the same universe. So it has the same theme. You're building a zoo, but it's a lighter game. So it's the entry level is going down, so it's easier to get on the table. It plays up to 5, and you can and it's much shorter. Yeah, it's a much shorter game. So yeah, some of the yeah. So it has it doesn't have the exactly same targeted audience. It's much lighter, but it still has crunchy decisions in it, I think. So it's still not the family
It's
version
not
of
light, it's just
Ark Nova.
lighter.
Yeah, it's just lighter. It's in Germany you would say it's a Kennerspiel, where Ark Nova is an expert game. So this is the like family game, Kennerspiel, and then expert spiel, so it's in the middle ground of it. So you so we in the when I played with the Feuerland team, we play with 5 in under an hour. But if it's your first game, of course it will take you slightly longer. So. And I usually say when I'm asked how long it is, see the time you take for Ark Nova, and it's half of it. So if you play Ark Nova in 4 hours, there are some people who play Ark Novas for 4 hours. You might still need 2 hours for that game, but if you play Ark Nova in 2, you can easily play this one in 1. And so.
Yeah, is there a solo mode as well?
That's the thing. There is also a solo mode, which is also pretty fast and nice, like with Ark Nova. And so what is the difference? Mainly, you don't have cards in this game. You have tiles. So you have a big stack of over 130. I think it's 135 tiles you have in total. And they show different animals, and you will also find the conservation projects. You have your team members like the ornithologists, etc. So you will have very familiar concepts you had in Ark Nova also, and you still have an action selection mechanism. So we are combining the tile laying game with an action selection mechanism. But it's stripped down to only 4 actions, and 3 of them are pretty similar. You play an animal with 3 of those, and for one other is for the conservation cards, and it has a built-in. So you get a tile each turn. You play. You use 1 action each turn, and then you go until the game is over. It's as easy as that. But the crunch decisions come with, okay, where do I place it? In which order do I want to use my tiles, or trigger Bony on the map, or with the cards? So the animals still have some effects when you play them. You can also combine. There are pairs of animals, so you could combine like the male lion and female lion, and if you do, you get an extra conservation point for that. So that's also I like that.
So we still have a trend here. You've gone from Ark Nova to Ark Nova expansions to Ark Nova Deluxe to Ark Nova Universe. Is there any plans to branch outside that box?
Yes, there is. But like I said, I'm not that in a rush. But I'm working on it, and I want the next big game to be a totally different theme. So it's not like I am the zoo ambassador or anything
so
like that.
So space combat, lots of dice rolling, some hidden betrayal and social deduction. What do you find the most challenging? Like now that you're full time in the industry, like you're or for a while now, what is the most challenging part to you personally about designing games?
The most challenging part. I mean, it's a complicated task, and it's nothing. So I don't do it as in, okay, you don't do it 9 to 5, right? So you are not sitting there, okay, today from 9 to 5 I will sit down at my desk and create a game. So that's not really how it works, at least not for me. I don't know how others can do it, but it's sometimes you have this vision, I'd call it, and then you can dive deep into it. So, but when I do this, I'm deep into it. So that's then you have this creative phase where you just push out ideas and do stuff, and so but if you do that, you are fully into it, right? You are in a tunnel, and this is difficult with whole family and things. So so when you are in the tunnel, you are in the tunnel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the term tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. You're focused.
This is maybe the hardest part. So keeping the balance. I mean, between spending. Yep. But it's a full consuming thing, for at least for me. If I do it fully, and then I lose sight of the. So and this is you have to Yeah. So with a basic job you had before, like you worked from 9 to 5,
Yeah.
you go back home, you reset your mind maybe on the drive back home, and then you are there. And now it's more like now I'm in the tunnel, and then
Your
maybe
job is your
and
passion.
then there's a week where where you're just playing games and enjoying regaining energy and ideas. Yeah, that's different. So I think this is the biggest challenge to keep it under the.
Cool. Well, we're gonna wrap up shortly, but I do want to touch upon two fun questions. I don't know, fun. Maybe like I guess all the questions have been fun. Maybe I don't know. But two fun questions. One is, what is something that has happened to you, whether the most interesting thing or just something particularly fun, because of your role in the industry, because of what you've done in design? Like, what's something that's been like a really fun moment that happened to you because you're the designer of Ark Nova?
I mean, being invited to such amazing events and all around the world, and meeting people who know your games, like your games, and go to you and say, "Hey, I love to play your game." I mean, I've been in Thailand at the Simon Asia Expo. I was there, and there was a line of local people who wanted to have a signature on their Ark Nova. This was amazing. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I had the same experience like in Las Vegas at the World Series of Board Gaming, where people wanted autographs or congratulated me or had fun with the game. I mean, last year I already said I watched the diplomacy game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was this. I tell him old guy because he was older than me, so so he came over to me, and I thought I might have disturbed them watching their game. I was there as an observer. I was silent, but who knows? And he stepped over to me and talked to me, and I said, "Oh, what's in his mind?" And then he said, "Oh, you know what? Uh, Ark Nova is my third favorite game. I love
You're
to
like
play it."
everyone's
I'm
third
not
favorite
so
game.
what? So different, yeah. Playing. It's first of all, it was, I think, was diplomacy is number one or number two.
Yeah.
Second one was like another classic. I forgot what he said, but then there already was Ark Nova at number three because he played it with his wife all the time, and so I was what nice. So that was really cool. So yeah.
Cool. And then secondly, we know some of the things that you were inspirations to along the way, or games you were into before you designed Ark Nova. But like, what's something that's come out in the past 2 or 3 years that has really impressed you as far as a game? Like, what game has come out in the past 2 or 3 years, not from yourself, obviously, that has really impressed you, and why?
Mm, I was really impressed with the Civolution design from
Oh,
Stefan Feld.
Stefan Feld, yeah.
He did a really great job on that one because yeah, having the idea of, okay, you roll your dice and then you use the dice, and each die combination is another action, is a different action. This is a huge concept, and to make
Interesting.
that work without feeling too loose in a way of it's too random. I mean, no,
Fascinating.
randomness is
Yeah.
always is always a thing, and maybe I can take randomness with cards better because I'm used to it. Randomness with dice is much worse in my just a felt way. It's just a feeling. Yeah, if rolling a die is not necessarily more random than drawing cards from a deck, but it's yeah, somehow it's different. And yeah, but I think he managed to pull it off, and I really was impressed with that design. So yeah.
Is it your favorite Stefan Feld? And if not, which one is?
My favorite Feld game. Oh man, there are so many Feld games.
That's great. I know.
It's I haven't thought about it if it's my favorite one. I think it's one of the top three. I recently tried out the Castles of Burgundy. I haven't played it that much before. I played it because of the deluxe edition,
Yes.
actually, to see how they did that for reasons.
For random reasons, yeah.
For random reasons, I wanted to give it a try. I mean, the original one I have. I mean, you can probably see it even in the background.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
that one. I have like played that like once or twice because of the components. Sometimes you are yeah, it's I didn't just like didn't like the
You mentioned
component
Caverna
quality.
earlier. There's now a deluxe Caverna. I'm sorry, you mentioned Agricola earlier. There's now a deluxe Agricola coming too.
Yeah, but Agricola is something different because I'm not sure about that one. But I checked that out also. I'm very tempted. Let's say that I'm very tempted, but I'm not yet in it. We will see. We
I
will see.
will say, just randomly as a fan, I'll say that for Casa Burgundy, the deluxe edition, I was very much all in. But for Puerto Rico, and not even up to Agricola yet, for Puerto Rico, I wasn't as pulled in. But then when I got a chance to try the prototype, it did convince me. So I am very curious as far as how Agricola is going to do.
Yeah, I think the campaign is running pretty
Oh,
good.
the campaign's running. As we're filming this, the campaign's running. When you're watching this, maybe not.
To a point, I already have all the expansions for Agricola, so it would be like just buying a small expansion, and everything looks different. And but I already have all the expansions, including the better shaped wooden tokens and so on and so on. So I have a nice storage solution for it. So it's quite redundant for me personally. But it's tempting. It's still tempting.
Cool. Well,
but Stefan Feld. So Stefan
saying?
Feld, which I also I liked here. Aquasphere is an underrated game from Stefan Feld. I like that one very much. So I think this is a very nice one.
Cool. Well, I have Civolution. I'll have to give it a shot because I have not played it yet. All right. Well, Mathias, thank you so much for joining us today on the Peoples Behind the Meeples. When is your campaign launching?
So we are aiming for August, but the answer is when it's done. So we don't want to rush it. So we are in. So I signed lots of contracts with different people, creating like the cover and the miniatures and so on and so on. And we are still talking with the company and the manufacturer, of course. And we had the manufacturing games these days is more complicated than it was in the beginning of the year. I don't want to deep dive into that. So it's also something unknown there. So it wasn't that bad, I think, to have it not run too fast, to have more certainty, hopefully. But I don't want to blame it on that. We are working in the background hard. We are putting things. So we will make a new upgrade soon, depending on when your video comes out. Maybe it's even there. I don't know.
Check out the campaign page. There'll be links all around.
So we are aiming for August, and so we want to have So
perfect.
If everything turns out like we have a time schedule, so contracts are signed, people are working, and first things look really great. So I'm very confident that we can pull that off.
Well, thanks so much for joining us today, and good luck in the campaign.
Thank you very much, Alex.